Yes, we have another new anime review series with this one. This is, and it's by far one of the most unique titles I've ever come across. My unique skill makes me OP even at level 1. Yeah, very interesting anime, this one. So, we start out with our main character, who is Ryoto Sota, where he wakes up in a dungeon and he's about to get his face smashed by a girl with a giant hammer, her name is actually Emily Brown. Apparently, he was a droplet from sort of a slime. Yes, killing a slime, because those things are pretty easy to kill in some forms of anime. Even video games, I've heard slimes are easy to kill. So, he goes, no wait, I'm a human. Like, that's not what he would say shit me, but yeah, apparently slimes on this level of this dungeon. Which, I look at the dungeon itself, it looks very bright for a dungeon, like, very white, and usually these dungeons tend to be, like, I would say of all the anime I've seen that feature dungeons, the only one I've seen so far where it actually looks like dungeons you would see probably in a video game is probably Harem and Labyrinth Another World with all these multiple levels. And it's all about droplets. Now, the whole droplets thing, it's been a thing in some anime, but not a primary plot device. That I thought was quite unusual. But so you smash slimes and you get bean sprouts. But when Emily does it, it's a small handful. When Ryoto smashes her with a freaking bamboo stick, it becomes like something of a whole plate full of these damn things. And stuff here is like so expensive. So then he goes to sell them at, I think it's the Adventurers Guild. They don't say it's the Adventurers Guild, even though kind of it is. Except this guild uses, I saw this, I'm like, really? In a fantasy setting with magic, bows, arrows, swords, and they use modern day scaling? I thought this was really weird. It's not the only thing I saw weird with this one. So, he gets paid for it. And apparently on level 2 of the first dungeon they go to, that actually has the monsters basically there drop carrots. Yep, carrots. Also they mentioned that, there was new dungeon open up. And apparently the monsters don't drop anything. Also, when they check his level and he first shows up, they have this thing called the status screen. Which this I found quite unique because this is different from other anime. Usually the character just brings it up on their own. They don't need a special device to do it. They don't have like a card. This is like a device on a wall. He just puts his hand to his green thing and look, it says basically its level. Emily's level is level 3. His is level 1 of 1. And as for the reason why he can't raise his level beyond level 1, not really very known at this point in time. So, apparently also his abilities are rank S. Which Emily thinks it's weak, a little weak, but no, it's actually strong. As what he points out though. And he kills like a bunch of slime, sells stuff off. By the way, the receptionist he sells it to, she's voiced by Brittany Luda. Yes, which out of the voice cast I've seen for the series, she is the only one I'm familiar with. And believe it or not, I've seen her in 17 different anime. The first one, I was kind of surprised she was in this one, because this anime was the last one I watched for Pokemon. Yeah, she's in Pokemon. She's in X and Y. You're like, really? Yeah. She's also in Fairy Tail, My First Girlfriend's a Gal, Death March Ups. I believe she's the voice of Lisa in the show, yes. Goblin Slayer, Nikki Show, My Wife is the Student Council President, Super X Heroes, One Piece, That Summer Crisis Slime, JoJo Bizarre the Solo Season, Girlfriend, Farming Life in the World, Chain Soldier, Don, Dragon Ball Daima, and now this show. Like, wow, that's a really interesting anime. Yeah, I checked out my wrestling girlfriend's like, I checked that out back in 2020. Yeah, Nietzsche, I saw my stream on my Discord. I was asked to do that to replace Saga Tiny with that one. Yeah, I thought it was okay. Anybody who likes Nietzsche show, I have nothing against anybody who likes this show. I just thought the show was okay. I like the animation. Maybe the animation for that show might be a lot of Mr. Kobayashi's Dragon made. Yeah, except it was not made by the same studio. Different one. So, basically, apparently getting a house is expensive. So, then after getting a bunch of money, he basically buys a house for Emily, and Emily asks him to live with her. He accepts. Got to take her house. Of course, they buy food, and of course, she cleans up the place and don't stay out too late. And then, of course, they encounter a bunny girl in pretty much the same episode. A bunny girl who at the end, who basically, as soon as she first sees him, she proceeds to chop him in the head. Really hard. He's like, why would you do that for? By the way, this girl's name is Eve. Yes, Eve. What is her name? Last name here. Her name is Eve Calisander. She's a bunny girl. She's voiced by Trisha Mellon. Emily Brown is voiced by Kelsey Murr. And Ryota Sato is voiced by Patrick Mealy. Honestly, I've never heard of these people, sadly. Oh, and the Guild Receptionist, she is voiced by Erin Moonson. Oh, excuse me, her character's name is Erin Moonson. She's the one voiced by Brittany Luda. Yeah, so she says some carrots. He has another guy who the man in dungeon they just laughing because he's level 1. But I think he's actually stronger than they are. She takes another guy who is a lot level higher than he is, chops him, and blood comes out. He gets taken away, no problem. He'll live, no problem. Yes, and then he goes to the new dungeon where no drops. But when he kills a monster there, basically a skeleton, he gets an HP boost. And then he goes second level in the next episode. Another seed drops, and it's a strength booster. Interesting. Yes, and then all the stuff they bring in, of course they drop some carrots. They couldn't exactly bring everything because they had the room in their arms. And then Urza's like, why not buy a magic cart? You're like, wait, a cart? Yes. They have a magic shopping cart that you can buy. Now, shopping carts in the real world are made of plastic. These things look like they're made of metal. And they have magic base in them. Like, ooh, this is nice with magic. It's like, and apparently these things cost I think it's like it's like 10 million, not dollars. It's basically, I think it's like Paco, I think it's called, name of the currency of the world. Yeah, and then not long after this, a stray monster is rampaged through town, and then we see what the heck the thing is. It's a giant gorilla, which of course he able to save Urza, no problem. Which, by the way, I saw her outfit fully in this scene here. I'm like, wait, did the animators bar her outfit from the hidden dungeon I can enter? Because the Guild Receptionist in that one wears the same exact outfit. Yeah, just by sheer coincidence. And then, of course, Ever holds him back. Prior to this, he's in a dungeon, and he sees this older adventurer. Basically, apparently he's got two younger adventurers. I think he's who teaches them, but he's running them ragged, treating them terribly. And of course, Ryota mentions basically he had a boss that just like this. He would do this just because he felt like it. Now, Ryota reminds me of the type of job he works at least he's not an overseas manager. So, but based on the fact this was a mild reference to what he was doing in the previous world, I'm guessing this is probably a small nod to headhunting the world. At least, basically, it's not like an overseas manager's worked to death half the time. Yeah. Then eventually he defeats the giant gorilla by first headbutting. Like first he blocks the hand with his strength. Everybody blocks his arms and legs, and then he proceeds to headbutt the gorilla while jumping in the air. And then he proceeds to punch him in the gut, falls over, and he's defeated. Now they mention that strays do not drop any. Stray monsters do not drop any droplets. But yeah, it's shown. They don't show what the thing looks like. It implies something did drop. What it is, we'll find out next episode. I was like, wow, this is really cool. I'm liking this anime so far. And those of you curious, this anime only aired just basically 2 years ago. It's made by Maho Film. Apparently it stands for magic. Okay. Symbolizes to wish to create magic content, give dreams. Okay. That sounds good. So, have I seen any anime that this company created? I'm looking at its work list. So, the first anime they came out with apparently came out like a year after the company started, which started back in 2018. I'm looking, but I don't think there's one I was interested in. I had a chance to watch the anime for it. But this is probably the first one. Yeah. There's a couple. There's another one basically called By the Grace of Gods. This one might be interesting. Yes, I think so. This had 2 seasons with it. Yeah, I might do that one eventually. Yes. There's also one called The Land of Lade. I've heard stuff about this one. I've heard people love this one. I personally haven't seen it yet, but it looks interesting. Okay, so I actually have seen one anime this studio put out. I'm looking at the list so closely. So, it was actually one I just saw. Was it this year? I think it was. Oh my gosh, yes, it was actually one I did earlier this year. I'm the villain, so I'm taming the final boss. So, this actually is second anime. Okay. But so far, like I said, enjoying it. Yeah. Oh, in case you're curious though, is there an anime that's on the air they put out right now? Yes. Anime known as The Blue Wolves of Mambu. Which, actually, it's not currently here. It's right after the first season. There's one that just started called Apocalypse Bringer Manora. World Conquest starts with the civilization in ruin. That might be interesting. Yep. But, not much else to say about these 2 episodes. It's episodes I just really enjoy. But yeah, so that is pretty much a particular video. Please be sure to like and subscribe to notifications. Next up, Comic Corner. Yes, I'm going to do it. Okay, next video. Bye.